Okay, before we begin, big shout out to GorillaCopter who donated 2 weeks of copies. Thank you very much. Super appreciated. Not expected, but very much appreciated. Okay, so the player we're watching is going to be Noah. They actually initially made a post that's basically them kind of complaining about their situation. I'll read that one out now. Losing comp motivation, need help. I know most of y'all hate this mindset, and I usually try to steer away from it, but I've hit my breaking point. It's my teammate's fault. I've lost 10 of the last 12 games, and every time was because my teammate wasn't pulling their weight. Over these games, I'm consistently getting 40 plus kills, highest limb slash damage for both teams, yet no matter what I do, I can't win. I'm the only person from team chat and almost never receive any comms. I'm a solo queue damage and high silver slash gold trying to climb to plat. I'm not very good at socializing, so finding a group is hard. I said in response to this, hey, post a replay code because it's really hard for us to know what's going on unless you post a replay code. So they did, which is why I'm going to review this. I would note right here that I don't think you need any comms whatsoever to win and play the game. Like I play in like low masters. Nobody says anything. Like I'll play multiple games in a row where like not a single word is said, and people just communicate via pings or not at all, and you just use game sense to figure out like what people are gonna do. It's really not necessary to communicate, especially in Overwatch 2. As number one. Number two is kills aren't necessarily everything. I think you mean limbs, and the limbs can be very deceiving as opposed to final blows, which are typically much more representative of the value you're getting. I've already pre-watched this game, and I can tell you that there is no way that you got 40 eliminations in this game. Not even close. But we'll see what happens. Anyway, so here's the actual post. Damage main, Hanzo slash Genji VOD. I believe I'm Plat-level, but I'm stuck in gold. For the record, you're gold 5, so you're barely gold. Arguably, you could just easily say I'm stuck in silver, because that's like about the same accuracy, right? You're like silver 1, gold 5. This VOD is a 3-4 loss in Paraiso. Started Hanzo, then switched to Genji to counter their Bastion and McCree. We call him Cassidy now, by the way. I think my biggest flaw is my mechanics, not great at aiming. I thought I played pretty well. It's hard for me to see my own mistakes, so I was hoping someone else could point them out to me. I'm curious what rank you think I deserve. Okay, so for starters, basically all DPS heroes require really great aim. So if you can't aim well, why would you advance? Like a critical part, more so than like the general positioning, ability usage, etc., that you can get from supports and tanks. If you can't aim, it's going to be very hard to climb on DPS because all the DPS heroes require aiming. Even ones like Symmetra, which require like arguably the least aim, you still need to aim pretty well in order to climb. Okay, so I'm going to say is that for having pre-watched the game, my overall takeaways are one, as with most video that I watch, you do fine. Like there's sections where I would say you even do good, and there's plenty of other stretches where you just don't do anything at all. Right? That's big problem number one. Problem number two is you get picked first way too often. Like way too often. And the third thing I would say is if you believe that you should climb, right? If you're like, hey, I'm a platinum level player, that means that you should dominate a gold lobby. If you're truly a plat player in gold, you should win at a bottom floor 60% of your games. Okay? If you're a plat 5 player, just the very bottom of plat, okay? That means you're 5 levels, right? Gold 4, gold 3, gold 2, gold 1, plat 1, right? You're 5 levels away from your quote-unquote true rank. You should be able to win this game, I would say 75 to 80% of the time. You should be very clearly, if I watch the replay, I should be like, wow, you are the best player in this game. That is not what is showcased here at all. And if your attitude is, I need my teammates to do something for me to win, then you do not belong in the next rank. Because I guarantee you, if I took a plat player and put them in your shoes, right, plays the same heroes that you do, they would have dominated this game. That's the reason why you don't win, is you're simply not dominant enough. You're okay. Like, I don't necessarily think you're throwing in this game, but you're not doing well. Like, it feels like you're probably around the 50-50 mark. Like, this feels like the correct skill level for you for a variety of reasons that we're going to cover. Right? But keep that in the back of your head is, if you were truly plat or higher, you would dominate this game, and you don't. That's the short answer as to why you're not plat. But let's watch this play out. Alright, good headshot. So you pause here. This is a bad pause. Why? There's a very small window where people are vulnerable on offense coming up here, right? When they come up this way and go there, and when they come up this way and then go over here. This window, when they're crossing these two areas, this area over here and this area over here, are pretty much the only good options you're going to have to attack them. After that point, they're going to get under the bridge, and then you're going to reposition. So choosing not to have really good uptime right now, which means like shooting arrows constantly, is very disastrous. Because you're ultimately a mid to long range hero. Right? So you try to go over the Rhine shield, but you see how, like, your general mechanics here are just not good. Like, you force dash here for no real reason. Right? You storm here for no reason. I would save storm arrows to either kill someone who is injured, kill someone who is overexposed, or kill a tank. None of those three things are true here, okay? You have two heroes that are full health playing behind cover. There's like 0% chance you're going to kill them here. Right? You don't even hit, I think, any of those arrows. Sorry, still sick. Okay, so your team's already lost 2, including the fact that their Bastion got a kill on your Orisa. Right? So we can see that their team is doing something. Their DPS are getting kills. What are you doing? Nothing. I think all you did was headshot the Bastion at the beginning of the game. Right? I think maybe you got like another body shot after that. So how come, if you're the best player in this game, if you deserve Plat, how come their DPS are getting kills and you're not? Right? So maybe you have a chance to turn this around. That is a super scary peek right there when you're discorded. As a reminder, the Zen can see you through walls. So he should have been charging orbs and blown you up the moment you walked around that corner. But, you know, this is gold 5. And we're going to see, it's not just you. Everyone in this game is going to make crazy mistakes. Like, really, really bad mistakes. Only some of which you're able to capitalize on. Right, again, doing this Zen. Not really getting any value here. I would also highlight that you see their Cassidy's going to get a kill on your Kiriko. So far, their DPS have gotten 2 picks and you've gotten 0. You're still shooting at the Zen. Getting pushed back. That's a good hit. Second arrow's off target. Right? So this Bastion clearly makes a mistake. You can get a pick. Finally. Good. Right? The problem is it comes way too late for this to actually make a difference in this fight. You have 11 health. You pretty much have to just die here. There's virtually no chance of retaking this point. You don't want to stagger. So you should just die ASAP. Instead, you're trying to stay alive, which is a big mistake. This is what leads to staggering. If you don't know what staggering is, then look it up. This is a very small thing. If you aren't familiar with Peeker's advantage, I would suggest that you look up Peeker's advantage. In this situation where you're super low and you will die in one hit, it's actually better off for you to peek first than it is for you to peek second and try to reactively kill the Zen. Just FYI. But either way, you should have died a lot sooner. A lot sooner. So now, look what happens. You're so staggered that you see that your first 3 teammates are already out here fighting. Your Orisa will join them shortly, and you're even this far back from the Orisa. So you're like 20 seconds away from this fight because of your own decisions, right? Because it's not because of a skill issue. All you have to do is literally just walk out and die, and then you'd be with your team right now. But instead, you're not there, which means that any deaths that happen out there will continue this stagger, like so. So their DPS just got another pick. You had no opportunity to do anything because you staggered yourself. Right? All you had to do was just die. Once you saw like you lost 2 immediately, like try to turn around, but when it was very clear that nobody's dying, just drop and die. So you can rejoin your team. Again, their DPS got another pick. Alright, we're going to keep tracking these because it's very relevant to illustrate how much value their DPS are getting that you are not. The only kill you've gotten so far is on that Bastion, who was way out of position and didn't matter at all because the point was capping anyway because they had 4 people on it. So that kill like basically didn't mean anything. Okay, you waste all of Storm Arrows, miss all of that. Your team's in trouble. You see the Hanzo flanking. You should immediately go for the Hanzo. You're a little slow to react. Forces Kiriko Swift Step. Right? You sort of push the Cassidy back. Okay? Again, if you did it sooner, I think the Orisa would not have needed to rotate like this. Right? If as soon as you see the Cassidy right there, if you hit him right now, and then he goes back, like not kill, but just hit him. Even just a body shot. Even not a fully powered body shot. I think he just stops peeking here. In which case, I don't think your Orisa ever goes high ground. And this sets up a chain of errors, right? Because the Orisa is like, oh shoot, no one's taking care of this off angle. The Orisa can't do everything, right? Orisa can't block main and take care of the off angle. That has to be a DPS job here. And you were in position to do it. You just didn't react fast enough and you did hit shots. Right? Until it's too late. Now your Orisa's out of position. This is the Orisa's fault, but it's caused by you being out of position and the fact that you staggered, leading to 1 fewer DPS to hold the off angle. So now you're facing off against the Ride with no Orisa in front of you. This is a problem. I think this is a decent dragon. Right? Ana's out of position, you hit the shot, great, cool, you got 2 kills. And your team ends up winning the fight. Perfect, good, right? I think you made a bunch of mistakes coming into that fight, but you got some kills, your dragon forced him out of position, you got some kills, great. Next fight.
Enemy marked.
I don't know why you're not picking the Ana, who was just sitting on high ground. Really unfortunate to miss the arrows there on the Zen. A body shot would have killed the Zen, either one of those shots. So, again, right now, DPS have pushed your off angle. What are you doing about it? Absolutely nothing, right? There's no tank here. There's no supports. You can't be like, oh, they're being pocketed or whatever. The Cassidy and the Bastion just literally walk in here and start blowing up your backline. You're doing absolutely nothing about this. Cassidy pops ulti, right? So, by the way, what could you have done that? Like, you could have just been more aware, right? You're just kind of like autopiloting down main, looking at the Rhine, but you should have been like, wait, where are the DPS? And figured that because they kept trying to flank through here, you should have been aware here. And you could fire Sonic here, right? Which would also have helped your team know that they were coming. Also, DPS have gotten 2 picks. Right? Now you're blown up. And now the fight's over. Again, you should just die here. You have 6 health. There's just no way. You want to die as soon as possible. You just cannot stop them. You want to die as soon as possible. Once again, you see that because you take too long, you don't get forward spawn, your play super far back, and once again you're like 20 plus seconds staggered away from your team.
Let the Kitsune guide you.
So you see all the pressure that DPS are applying to your tank, right? Suzu's already been forced out. Like, they basically need to constantly non-stop heal your tank. Your team did a good job forcing trance, right? They did that all without you. Your other DPS dies. Again, look, their DPS got a pick. Alright, you eat Fire Strike, and then you die. And you die pretty quickly here, right? You're at full health. You eat Hanzo, you eat Fire Strike, body shot, and another body shot. I mean, I don't think your Kiriko really could have saved you here without Suzu. And we already saw that she used Suzu. Well, she actually does have Suzu here right now. I think it comes up just in time. Right? But she's healing the Orisa, which is reasonable. Like, a better Kiriko would have saved you here. But ultimately, this is still your fault, right? You peek way too far out. This is a very wide peak. You see the Fire Strike coming. You could have just continued going to the left and avoided this. Right? Then you could have dashed to cover to make sure that you don't get killed. And you just don't respect it. You're just like, hey, I don't think that Cassie's going to hit me. And he does. So Cassie just straight up diffs you. Right? We're going to see this all game long. That Cassidy is just better than you. To be perfectly blunt, it is very obvious in this game, and I haven't even expected the Cassidy, but just looking at the kill feed and the positioning, the Cassidy is just better than you are. So if you think, hey, I deserve to be in Platinum, then you better be diffing that Cassidy. You know what I mean? This is gold 5. You're not even fighting against a gold 1 Cassidy. You need to be overwhelmingly better than that Cassidy. What do I mean by overwhelmingly better? I would say you'd have to win a 1v1 duel against him in like, not like a straight, like close, like, you know, generally in a game, like who gets picked first between the two of you in like 5v5 situations, I would say you'd have to kill him at least 75% of the time. Like, it should be at least a 3-to-1 advantage. But this Cassidy wrecks you all game long, and you clearly don't know what to do about it and don't have the mechanical skill to stop him. Right? The Cassidy does whatever he wants to you all game long. Alright, Sonic. I don't think this is a great dragon. I understand it though. I mean, you end up killing the Ana out of this, but... Sorry, you end up killing the Bastion out of this. I don't think there's a reason why this Bastion should have died to this. Yeah, the Bastion's like full health. He sees the dragon. All you have to do is walk to the left right now. So, I think that this is not a good dragon. I think you need more distractions to be able to effectively pull off this dragon. But, get a lucky kill, you know, it's gold 5. People make mistakes, right? Bastion clearly made a mistake. You're out here. So you missed a whole bunch of shots, but the Zen's still low enough. Great, get a kill. Good, right? So you gotten 2 kills here, right? So you probably deserve to win this fight. Body shot. Unfortunately, that hits the railing. It looked like it was on target. Miss. You're trying to go for the scatter. I don't know that these scatters actually would have worked. It's close. I understand. It's on the general track. I like to see the attempts, at least. It doesn't hurt you. Okay, so you managed, you contributed, right? You helped win that team fight. So instead of trying to hit the Ana, who's popped up in the air, you go for the Rhine. Watch, right there, you see the Ana? Just shoot her. right? She has a very predictable path. She has no control over her movement while she's in there. Virtually no control. This is a much easier shot. Even a body shot here changes the way that the fight goes completely if you body shot the Ana. Again, try to shoot. Then you back off this angle, despite the fact that the Ana hasn't landed a shot. It's just the Ana. Like, it's okay. You can challenge this, right? She has to hit you 3 times. You only need to hit her once. Definitely challenge this. At a minimum, she's shooting at you. She's not healing the Rhine. So I think 2 passive there. So your poor ball goes for the Ana. Again, look. So this is a tank and a DPS against a solo support. And let's watch. You miss arrow number 1. You miss arrow number 2. You miss arrow number 3. You miss arrow number 4, and then you give up. Like, if I'm the tank, I'm like, wait, could you have landed 1 body shot to help make my job easier? Instead, the tank is the fighter from full. You know? Like, if you don't hit shots, what's the point of playing Hanzo? You miss that shot, you miss that shot, and then you finally hit 1. So let's track this back. Okay, starting from here, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You missed 7 arrows in a row during a team fight. What does carrying look like to you? Like, if you were plat level, do you think a plat Hanzo would miss 7 arrows on people in, like, the open field? I mean, one of them, I guess, it was a prediction shot. So even we like take that off. You think a plat Hanzo would miss 6 arrows? Like, that is extraordinarily bad value right now. You're literally not doing anything, which is a big reason why your team gets walked over, is that you're just not doing anything. Also note, once again, your DPS kills their Rhine. Trades for the tank, which is a great trade. I would take that trade any day of the week. Then your DPS kills your their DPS kills your DPS. Another pick they've gotten. What are you doing? Right? If you're like, I deserve to be plat, what are you doing to demonstrate that you deserve to be plat? Because you're not getting any kills.
Enemy here.
You know? Like, you have such bad cold spells where you get absolutely nothing. Great. You killed the Zen. Fantastic. But for the record, this kill now doesn't matter. The kills that matter most in fights are the very first one. Right? The very first kill, unless it's traded for right away, usually determines who wins the team fight like 70% plus of the time. So when your Junkrat traded for that Rhine, he effectively won this fight. Because trading a DPS for, it's just like in the chess, right? You know, I will trade a knight for a rook, right? I'll trade a rook for a queen. Like, this is big for him. Just trading with the tank basically stops this push completely. The kill that you get here is just cleanup. It's like, yeah, you got this kill, but this kill doesn't mean nearly as much as the kill that your Junkrat just got on the right, even though the Junkrat died for it. So you killed Bastion, also part of cleanup. Again, all that buys you is like another 10 seconds, which is good. Definitely get the kill than not get the kill, but it's not as impactful as you might think. Like, I think you should be trying those shots, because it doesn't hurt you. You lose nothing by trying those shots on the Zen. And if you hit a headshot, buys you another 10-15 seconds. And maybe the team gets impatient and pushes with other Zen, and then they're in stagger mode. Again, take that shot. Oh. Like, you gotta be taking a lot more shots. Alright, good job on Bastion. Clearly, like an overextension / silly play on Bastion's part. That's a big kill. Right? Ryan trades back, so now it's back to even. You hear / see the Hanzo. Body shot. Very lucky you don't get shot here. I'm very surprised that he doesn't shoot you. Yeah, he misses quite a few shots here. You really should have taken at least a body shot there. And then you just leave. But why aren't you continuing to challenge the Hanzo? Right? You have basically full health right now, and your ball is already in. Your ball's in the fight. See? He even lifts the Hanzo for you. Like, why are you playing this far back? At a minimum, you could have just played here. Right? You see your ball is on the Cassidy, and you're just not helping your ball at all, despite how easy your ball makes it for you, which is very frustrating as ball. Again, another good example of like a dragon that I don't agree with. There's just not. I would wait until you have more people here, so there's more chaos to prevent them from just running away from this dragon. It does force trance, which is great. So this is kind of a weird decision to climb right now. I would have looked for an opportunity to kill that, kill that Zen as trance ends. You know, this Zen is clearly the most overextended of everybody. Like, granted, he's also nanoed, but I think I still go for the Zen here. You decide to go for nobody, right? Wasting a lot of time, right? Trance pop. So let's track how long it is. First of all, you're one of the few heroes that can kill through trance because you let a headshot kill, right? But let's assume once trance ends, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's the first attempt that you could have had, first arrow you had in 10 seconds that you could have gotten the kill. You fired one shot at the Ride, who clearly was never going to die, right? You went 10 seconds where 4 of your friendly heroes all died, and you did nothing. Like, forget missing arrows. You didn't even try to shoot any squishy targets in 10 seconds. You basically just went AFK for 10 seconds. Okay? Again, watch. You climb up. Like, this fight's clearly engaged, right? Like, everyone is committed here. This is like do or die. Right? You're just walking around with a drawn arrow doing absolutely nothing. And you're like, man, my teammates suck. I'd be like, no, my Hanzo sucks. Like, why? What the hell are you doing? Like, everybody here is fighting. Like, if you were literally just Reaper, just standing here with your team, like, and just like fighting the Zen, for example, or fighting the tank, or doing anything of value, that would be way better than what you're doing here, which is running around like with your bow, like waiting to see if you get an opportunity. You kill the Ina now, but again, like they have a ton of people on cart. Your team is all dead. You force a stall, which is the correct decision here, and then you die. And your Junkrat nearly saves it with Tire. So again, if we see on attack, on first point, you basically threw completely because you did absolutely nothing. On second point, you won one fight and then didn't do anything after that. And on third point, you similarly won one fight and then didn't do anything after that. This certainly doesn't look like dominant play. Like, you can literally go like 2-3 minutes without a kill. Right? And then you get like a burst of them at once, which is great. But again, getting 5 kills in one fight is not nearly as valuable as getting 1 kill every fight for 5 fights, or even 3 fights if it's the first kill.
I bear my burden.
I want to make that very, very clear, is the timing of when you get kills is super, super important. If you don't understand that, then I think you should think more about like how Overwatch works and why that's very relevant. Getting a pick early matters a lot more than getting a bunch of cleanup kills that nobody cares about. So I like the way you're shooting the Rhine shield instead of just shooting at the exposed Bastion, who's consistently proven himself to be out of position. I would be looking to just burn the Bastion down, right? One fully charged arrow in, followed by storm arrows to kill him. Because you've already done that like twice more this game. So punish the people on the opposing team who are not good, right? The Bastion has made so many mistakes. Go after the Bastion. Pick on people who don't know how to play the game at your skill level, right? That should be your goal, is that you just have to bully the right people. So you waste storm arrow here. So Ball goes in, gets a solo kill on Zen, which is fantastic, right? So this should be an easy win. You get headshot, and then you get body shot. Who are you blaming here, right? Your team, your tank just went and got a solo kill. So it's 5-on-4. This should be a 1 fight. You stand out in the open and get 2-shotted by the Cassidy. Is this your support's fault? Like, you died in 2 shots, right? Is this your tank's fault? Like, who are you going to blame for this one? This is like actually crazy that you're like, oh wow, I did so much, and then this happens to you. Like, no, you're just getting diffed by the DPS. Like, he just absolutely wrecked you. Like, how do you avoid this from happening? You just stand in the open, right? Like, you have no fear of the opposing DPS, but not for a good reason. Again, the Cassidy absolutely messes you up all game long. And if you're plat level, you would be doing that to the Cassidy. Every single time the Cassidy made a mistake, you would be killing him. But you're just not good enough. Alright, you decide to go Genji. Again, Genji's a very mechanically intense hero. It's very rare to see somebody switch Genji as a counter. Usually they open as Genji and then switch off Genji if they have to. Similar way I feel like about like Doomfist, right? Doomfist or Tracer. But we'll see, right? Can you play Genji? So, Bastion's super low. The second you see this, right, I would have dashed forward and then killed him, right? Either the dash itself gets close, I think the dash will probably stop you like right here, and then one right click kills him. Because you don't want to run the risk that he gets to back up and stay alive, you know? Right? Just dash and kill him. because then you get your dash reset. Ball's in. Again, I don't think shooting at shield is worth it here because you want to save your ammo to go after the backline. It's very clear that the shield is not going to be able to save them for, like, he can't hold that shield for very long. And the shield's at full health. Like, you're just not going to be able, like, you just save the ammo. Right? And now you need to reload. And imagine if you did need to reload right now because you could go up to the Cassidy or even just hit the Rhine right now. Go to the Zen, which is a good idea. You need a big shot. Your tank just gets another solo kill on the Cassidy, of which you were no help whatsoever. Right? You haven't reloaded despite the fact that you're walking around with 18 ammo. Just like basic mechanics mistakes. So you see the ball go after the Ana. You see the Ana got bumped. You see sleep get used. You should dash through right now and immediately go kill the Ana. Instead, you decide to fight the Rhine for some reason. I know the Bastion shooting, but the shield's there. Like, you have to kill the supports. Okay? You're still not going for anybody. Right? You have 9 ammo, which is more than enough to dash and kill the Zen. Right? Kill either one of them. You decide to reload, despite the fact that both of them are wide open right now. You pause before even shooting, like kind of to assess the situation, I guess, which is not good, right? Just poor APM. Right? Now you finally dash. You miss the right click. You get that one finally. And you get killed. You dash the Bastion. This is fine, right? You're slow to deflect. As soon as you go through here, to activate deflect to prevent your ball from dying. Right? You're too slow. You kind of back out of the way. You're like indecisive about whether or not you want to try to deflect to try to get in front of the way of your ball or not. And again, you want those early deflects to be able to farm ult charge because Genji without blade is not very good. You go take high ground first. This is a good idea. So again, like you can hear / see them. You had a lot of opportunities here to simply shoot the Zen. You see him right there. You see him again. You're still getting hit by the Ana. You deflect just to keep yourself alive. So you went that whole time up there and did absolutely nothing. Didn't farm any ult charge, which is, I think, very bad. Your DPS gets a pick on their DPS, so they've lost 2, you've lost 1, but they still have a tank. You see how low the Bastion is right now? He's being healed, so you can't quite get the kill. I would have probably stepped back and gotten healing to get back up to 200. I would really step back and get healing for 200. Like, being full health makes a big difference for squishies. You saw that hook go in, so now you know. Saw / heard the hook, so now you know that they don't have hook right now. Again, you should dash right now and make sure this Bastion dies. You're slow to dash, right? You should do a second dash right away. Or even right click /. Right? Right click dash here. Okay, then turn melee, the Ana just dies instantly. Instead, there's like an extra half second. That stuff matters. At higher levels, it will give people time to react and be able to counter and not die. That's an okay deflect. Hog's still there. You just want to farm him. Or go after the Zen zone. Zen's also fine here. I think you should dash. So the Zen's low enough at this point that you can just dash and insta-kill, right? So dash does 50, right-click does, I think, 72, assuming no headshots. So that's 122 damage, plus melee does 152 damage, okay? This Zen only has 125 health, so you could even miss a shuriken and not get any headshots, and this should still insta-kill him, okay? But you hesitate here, and then if we just look at your aim, miss, 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 dash. You can't 180 fast enough, miss, and then you die. And if I'm looking at this from the opposing team, from your team's perspective, I feel like you're throwing. You know, it's like, okay, we just killed 2, we're down 1, but it's 4 and 3 right now. Okay, ball comes back quickly. Okay, pretty much all you have to do, like, you don't even have to do this. Like, if you just sat here and just help farm the hog, that itself would be valuable. I think it is the right call to go for the Zen. Your just execution is very, very poor. Right? I'm like, hey, I even have coalescence here, and then you just die, like, way in the back line. I have the more, I'd be like, what are you doing? Like, if you just wait a few more seconds, I could have gone here with coalescence and help you kill the Zen. So, big throw by you. Mercy comes over here and saves you with a revive. You dash the Ana. So you are very lucky to get these 2 kills. I think you should have died here. But the Bastion, who we already recognize as the worst of the 2 DPS, right? He should have immediately thrown sticky like at the ground here, and you're dead. Like his aim is awful. You should have died here. I do not think it was the right call to play. You managed to get 2 kills. I think you were very lucky to do so. You saw your Moro healing right here, and instead of waiting for the heal spray to get you, right, you just jump away, which I do not think is the right call. Just finish getting healing, and then you can chase the Cassidy down. Just dash. Just dash. Don't let him get away. Oh man. Right? It's like your team has high ground control. You'll have your DPS here. You have your other support here. Your ball's already in. Right? Just dash over here. Fight fight the Cassidy. Use deflect if you need to, which might also end up killing the Cassidy. Just don't let him get away for free. Even if you die here, your spawn is right there. You'll be back in 10 seconds. It's not a big deal. Like it's worth the risk to try to kill the Cassidy here to make the next fight a 5v4. So you walk up, you're overextended right now, you open your left flank to the rest of the team, clearly not looking or expecting them to hit you. Then you're suddenly surprised when, oh look, they can actually hit you. Then you deflect, right? Again, the deflect is a really bad deflect. Like you have to use it to keep yourself alive, but you should never have been in this position to begin with. Okay, again, I think you should have killed the Cassidy right there, right? Or at least, forced everything from their team to try to kill him. Then once he goes to the right, I think you have an opportunity to dash over, right, and try to fight this out if you so wish, or potentially just come back and wait for the last responding member, which is your poor Mercy, who's way so far back. That's unfortunate. So yeah, at this point, not much you can do. All right, respawn. So for the record, for Bastion ultis, you can look up at the air and deflect them because they're actual projectiles that come out of the air, and you can deflect them. So you're late to react to this. You could have honestly dashed in like virtually any direction if you did it a little earlier and survived, but you do none of the things correctly and then you die. So that's another stagger, right? Again, easily preventable. No reason for you to die there. Your DPS gets another pick. You deflect at the wrong time. So, as a reminder, it does not charge high noon unless he's looking at you. So he can't look at you and instantly kill you if you have been out of line of sight the whole time. Right? So he's going to change you. You see how it's nowhere close, and you activate deflect right now when there's 0% chance it could kill you. Right? You should have gone up, kept right-clicking him. You had at least another second and a half to keep right-clicking him, and then you could have dashed through and or deflected. Again, completely mess up the execution there. You dash, finally. You get that kill. Right, again, yeah, farm the hog for ult charge. And then, this is great. So, if you're aware how hog has probably the worst range shotguns in the game. So if you're standing right here, you can take 100 to 200 damage. Okay, if you're standing this close. If you stand here, you're probably only taking 75 to 100. If you stand here, you're only taking probably 40 to 50 damage max. Okay? Instead of just staying at this range where you could easily land all your shots, you're going to walk towards him, / he jumps towards you, and you just get obliterated. Right? Like, we can see how you walk towards him? Unnecessary. Just basic Overwatch 101. Again, if you think you can get the Plat doing stuff like that, you will have a hard time. Right? You just don't understand like how dangerous Hog is at close range, especially after the recent buffs. I would dash and kill. Yeah. I don't think I would dash there. So you see the Ana vulnerable. Again, Ana with all of her cooldowns is actually fairly dangerous to you. I would try to force something out first. Once you're up close, she can do this, where she's going to nade you. And then, now what are you going to do? Right? I would try to force her to nade first before you go in. Nade and or sleep. So it's a good flank. A lot of missing. Right? For you, where the Zen down. You had the opportunity to dash kill. I understand why you didn't, because you probably die there. Hog is coming towards you. Your goal really should be to get out of LOS of Hog, so I would go this way and then like climb up. Right? And then like go this way. Anything that gets you out of LOS of the Hog. Because the Hog, I think, just straight up misses this hook here for no reason. Yeah, see? There's no reason this should happen. It's not you didn't deflect or anything. He just straight up hits the ground. He should have hooked you there and then completely messed you up. You used deflect after he uses hook, which is even worse. You missed the hog twice at close range. Like, this can't happen. Like, if you think plat-level Genjis are missing 6 point-blank shurikens against the hog, I got some news for you. Yeah, not so good. Did the first 3 actually hit though? Nope, they missed. I'm looking at the Cog's health bar. Yeah, you completely whiffed all 6 of these. So again, you have a mercy pocket right now. So you are 40% of the team because you're being mercy pocketed. So you really need to do something here, because otherwise you're taking out both yourself and a support by not doing anything, and you are doing absolutely nothing. Let's just clarify here. Like, you forced them back initially, great. So like now you're taking space, which is good. Then the hog starts rotating towards you, and after this point, you do absolutely nothing to affect this fight at all. Right? Once the hog starts rotating, like, you're just screwing around now, right? You're basically AFK, still AFK, still AFK, still AFK, still AFK, still AFK, right? No one's doing, you're not doing anything of any value to anybody. You're not helping to win this fight. You're just existing on this battlefield. You could be killing the supports, right? You could be doing even more damage to the hog to try to force cooldowns. You could have conceivably even like pop blade early and then try to make sure to kill a support. A lot of things that could go better here, right? You could push away the Reaper off high ground. Again, why are you playing so far back, right? 3 of your teammates are up, including your ball was super committed. Why are you playing so far back? Right, kill the Reaper, great. Go in. So I think this is a reasonable opportunity to just to try to sync with your team and pop blade, but I think it's okay to also not pop blade in this situation. Yep, great. Zen dies. This is unacceptable. Can't have this happen. You cannot miss the follow-up blade on an Ana like this. Like, this is even close. You should have recognized immediately when you dashed in is that you had to, first of all, it's a bad dash because you went way too far to the right. Second, you'd have to turn and chase her down a little bit before you do this. You see how impotent you feel? You're like, oh wow, now this is weird. So you waste the whole blade, and all you did was do 50 damage. Right? You did 50 damage with the dash, and that's it. You miss every single blade swing from there. So, again, that doesn't happen if you're a plat-level Genji, right? In a gold lobby. Just really poor mechanics. Like, it's very hard to climb if you don't do anything. And you go long stretches without doing anything. Really good opportunity right here to shoot at the Ana, right? Again, long-range shurikens at the Ana here. Good poke, right? She's clearly not looking at you. So 3 dead. You get to play back. So this is good, right? Just poke, right? Try to farm blade. Reload right now. You have 6 ammo. Bastion does tank form. Great. So follow the Reaper here. Reaper's really out of position. This is really cocky of you to simply jump, right? You see the hog is low, so you could have just simply walked on the ground here and prevented him getting an angle at you. Because you jump, it gives him the ability to see you, right? It's a super hard hook if you don't jump, right? Like that. Yeah, so you just walked on the ground, you're fine. Forces deflect out early. Hog has effectively peeled you off his team. All right, go for the Bastion. You really need to kill this Bastion right now. I think it's worth. Like, once you came up here and you realize once the Reaper dropped, I immediately dash, right? Dash and fight this Bastion at close range. You're almost about to have deflect, and if you don't get deflect in time, then just drop. Because the... I think that's probably worth it. I don't think the Bastion can be fast enough. Just dash. Just dash and kill him, right? See, there's like this hesitation. Once he stops shooting, he's clearly not going to shoot you again until deflect ends, right? Dash 180, kill him. If you play Genji, you must get good at the dash 180. Like, that is not something that you can miss if you want to climb. right? Again, really poor execution. You wait too long, you end up taking too much damage here, right? You could have instantly killed him right now. Instead, he drops you all the way down to 49, and then random spam kills you. Right? Easy, easy stuff for Genji. Easy Genji 101 type stuff, and you're messing it up. And that's why you're gold 5, right? Again, like if you're just like, hey, look, I'm just trying to climb, you know, what are the tips? I would be a lot nicer in this review. It's because you have this cocky attitude where you're like, oh, I belong in Plat, but like, you can't do basic stuff. There's so much like, it's like simple things as part of the heroes. Yeah. It's like you're slow to recognize, again, the Bastion who's been playing poorly all game long, immediately dash and get the kill here. So you see that the Reaper has has nano, has teleported. Now you should assume, hey, he's gonna nano right now. I have two options. Either number one, try to kill the Reaper, or number two, try to kill the Ana. I think I just kill the Ana here, because I don't think I can realistically kill the Reaper out of nano. Right? Looking at this lineup, it's just too low damage of a lineup. So if I were you, I would just look at the right and immediately try to kill the Ana. Come out here, you deflect. Miss every shuriken. Okay, again, I want to highlight just how bad the aim is. Okay, so Reaper at close range. Okay, you should be hitting, I would say, at least 66% of this in Plat, right? I think if you were something like Diamonds or Masters, I think you're hitting like 80% plus. So that's two. Is that two hits? It's hard to tell with the animations. It's either one hit or two hits, but we'll say it's two hits. Okay, that's two hits. Miss. 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 So that's 5 misses in a row, so we're at 15 shurikens missed. And then you finally hit him. That's really bad, right? 15 shurikens at, was it 24 damage each? That's something like 312 damage, right? I'm doing math quickly in the live, so I'm probably wrong, but something like 300 plus damage that you just missed. Even if you got half that damage, that's 150 damage into the Reaper, which, you know, potentially changes the situation. Also, I think you might have been damage boosted, hopefully, for part of this. No, I think it's just healing you. I mean, this can't happen, you know? Like, ball comes out of nowhere to kill a Reaper for you, which is honestly extremely lucky that a ball is killing a Reaper. You hit the Ana. You should be looking for a triple headshot right here. Instead, you miss both. You're also jumping when you don't need to, when she's not even looking at you, which is throwing off your own aim. Right, you dash through. You totally lose track of the Ana. This is super sloppy. So you lose track of the Ana, despite the fact that she's 1 health. She's running on your head. The Ana still lives here. You still have not killed her. Finally, you get the kill, but now you're dropped super low. You walk back out again, leaving your flank open. Like, you're clearly getting shot on something on the left, and you're just like, oh, whatever, it's not a big deal. If that Zen had been continuing to peek you, you would have died right now. Right. Fashion ulti happens. That's good tracking, right? That's good, right? That 1, 2, 3 on the long range shurikens, that's good, right? Get a good kill here. Hopefully you're looking for an opportunity to blade. Again, just dash right away. Because the other reasons to dash right away is it prevents you from getting attacked from here. You're very open here, but if you dash behind this, no one can attack you. That's another big reason why I want you to dash right away, because it makes you safer. So now you don't have dash, you should look for hook. Right? You haven't heard / seen the hog hook in a while, so you should be thinking, hey, how do I avoid getting killed here? As soon as you dashed, I would assume the hog is going to hook you. And I am correct, the hog hooks you. Somehow you only take 30 damage from this hook shot. He completely whiffs you. Wow, you should just be dead, right? Just regular one, even with the hog hook shot nerf, you should be from 130. You should have been 1 shot killed here, right? With a left click and a melee. Super lucky to not be dead right now. Again, like this is stuff that you get away with because it's gold 5. Again, in Plat, I think you're just dead. So you dash. So you really need to follow the Ana right now to make sure you get the second swing. You don't because you stand against the corner. Right, so So let's watch this. So you dash in. You should immediately be running after the Ana. Instead, you see how you pause there and you wait in the corner, and that gets you out of range. Now you kill the Ana, but you're at 40 health, and then you should immediately have tried to dash because you're so low and you're gonna die. Right? Dashing in literally any direction this way would have been really key right now to not die. Instead, you die. Very unfortunate. You get revived, and then your team caps. Right? So you eventually add value, but like it's so sloppy. Like everything about it is, I mean, it's accurate, right? You ask like what rank is correct. I'm like, yeah, no, you feel like gold 5, silver 1. I'm not getting any sense here that you're able to dominate this game by any stretch of the imagination. And I see a lot of basic fundamental errors in the way that you play the game. That means that you're at the right rank. Like, if you got put in platinum lobbies, you get absolutely dumpstered. Like, I don't think you realize just how badly you would get wrecked in a platinum lobby. Like, even forget the aim alone, like, just like the game sense and ability usage, you would be shocked. Like, remember when you were standing on top of a bus and that Cassie just 2-tapped you? That would happen all the time in platinum because your movement isn't good. So you spam away. So you should have seen this Reaper teleport right now. And you should have started reloading and immediately looked to do this. Instead, you reload way too late. You just don't react to what's happening here. Reaper's able to get a lot of shots in on your Orisa, which just forces Fortify. Reaper Wraith is there. It's not much you can do at this point. Again, try to harass the back line. You mistime it. Like, stuff like this is what tells me is like, hey, people who play at higher ranks, they know the timing for Reaper Wraith, you know, and you don't. Because you were way too early. And that's an extra 72 damage, or with headshots, that's 144 that you could have had. Imagine if you knew the timing of this correctly, of this teleport, and then you just walk forward, like up to here, and then triple headshot the Reaper as soon as he comes out of it. That's 144 instant damage to this Reaper, which means he probably... and if you dash, that's 194 and forces Wraith right away. Not that I'm suggesting that you actually dash there, but just give me an idea. And then this is the icing on the cake. So the Moira has been capping the whole time. And you recognize that here. Great. She's about to cap. You're about to lose the game. What could you possibly do right now? You have dash. You just dash to the point. Instead, all you do is attack. You even double jump in the air to move you farther away. And then you lose the game. All you had to do was dash there. Okay. So, in summary, what rank do I think you deserve? As I said before, I think you're right where you should be, right? Gold 5, silver 1. It seems like you're losing games in gold 5, so it seems like your correct rank should be something like silver 1. Your biggest flaw, I think my biggest flaw is mechanics. Yeah, I wouldn't strictly just say aim, but I would say all of the mechanics, all of the decision making, all of the ability usage. And again, if you weren't so cocky, I would be more supportive and be like, yeah, no, it's totally fine. I mean, even though you were kind of cocky, I'll still say, yeah, like this is perfectly normal. Like you don't look like somebody who has 1,000 hours at Overwatch. You know what I mean? Like you're somebody who's like, hey, look, I'm playing. Maybe I'm like semi-casual or whatever. You probably have, I don't know, a couple hundred hours of Overwatch, maybe like 300. You definitely don't look like comfortable in Genji for sure. It's not like throwing, but not like great. I think your Hanzo looked a little better than your Genji does. But in general, neither one of the heroes look like you're super strong. I don't think you know how to take one-on-ones. I think your aim has issues, your ability usage issues, and your decision-making and positioning have issues. You're just not able to, in aggregate, do enough to change the fight. You don't get enough intro picks. You don't do enough with your ultimates, right? Especially on Genji, you wasted so many blades doing absolutely nothing with them. And the one blade where you got 2 kills, I'm like, I don't think you deserve that. I think you should have died because you had 40 health and were purple against the full health Bastion who still had sticky grenade. Literally, he could just sticky the ground and just took his hands off his keyboard and mouse and you would have died. You know? Like, it was not a skill thing at that point. The Bastion just panicked, which is not something that's going to happen at higher levels. And then, like, just general game sense, like, not, like, staggering yourself repeatedly over and over and over again on defense was super bad. and then taking those fights in the back line and dying, right? I think offense in particular just went really, really poorly. Defense like was better, but you're worse at, or rather on defense, yeah, that was the problem. I think that offense went better in general, but you're worse at Genji, so it kind of equaled out to some extent. And at the very end, not having the game sense to dash onto point to prevent the cap was absolutely ridiculous, because this could have been a draw easily, right? They only had a minute, 10 seconds left, and you'd already won the team fight. Like all you had to do was dash, and at the minimum, they only have one more team fight probably to the end of the game, and you could hold to get a draw. So, yeah, a lot of stuff going on here. I don't really know why you're blaming your team. I arguably think that even their Bastion, who played not well, probably gave comparable value to you. Their Cassidy played much better than you did, for sure, and dumpstered on you for most of the game until they went Reaper. And your other DPS probably played comparably to you. But again, if you're supposed to climb, you should be like, I am better than everybody in this game. That's how you climb, is that you prove that you're better. And that's not what happened. Okay, hope that's helpful.